I came from a kind of low-income family in Vermont. My dad was a young parent. He was 15 when he had me with my mom, and so they were never married or anything. And I was kind of destined to not have a great, childhood. I think we got a packet in the mail one day for VSAC, and they were coming to do some workshops with middle schoolers. I went to this workshop, but I met Natalie when I was in 7th grade, and it kind of just took off from there, and I think I liked the idea of having a little bit of a better life than I was destined to have. And what happened is that I would never have been able to go to school if I had not received the grant and the Curtis Fund and the endowment.
I was dyslexic in high school. Everything was upside down, backwards, you name it, I couldn't do it. So college wasn't even an option. No one even talked about it. I wasn't smart enough. I couldn't do that. I got married, and between the two of us, we had 5 children. So I was the soccer mom, baseball mom, you name it, minivan, Astrovan, the big one, with the 5 kids and everything we owned in the back of it. And I did my thing at the South Royalton School. I actually worked there for 20 years. During that time, the youngest of our 5 children, Riley, started working with Stacy in VSAC, and everybody was bugging me, you should go to school, you should go to school. That year I got the Emma Curtis Scholarship, and like I said, I couldn't afford to go to college if I didn't have funding. So thanks to VSAC and the scholarships I received, that it made it all possible. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been there.
I am originally from Ghana, and I moved here when I was 16 years old. So I was very confused by my schedule, and I spent a lot of time in the guidance office. So I just asked Peggy and Deb, what do I do? How do I talk to Beagle? And they both just said, just shoot him an email. This is his email. Just talk to him and say you're interested. And that's where that relationship started. So I got an email from my dad saying your counselor from high school just reached out, and he said he nominated you for the Curtis Fund scholarship. And I remember just screaming on the phone. I'm like, I don't even know how much it is. Yes, yes, yes. So I was just so excited. Receiving those funds actually allowed me to know that I could study abroad, because it's always been a dream for me to study abroad. Everything has come into culmination, and none of that would have been made possible without this scholarship and VSAC and Beagle. I thank you a lot for all of that.
When I moved to Vermont, I was homeless, and I was living in my truck. And I had just come off of a very difficult divorce in Down East, Maine. And when I moved to Vermont, basically I had a beater pickup truck and the tools of the carpentry trade. I had been a person who had dropped out of high school and was a at-risk youth and had run away and all of those things. And so I really thought that I was going to do carpentry my whole life. And I discovered VSAC, and I furiously completed applications for every scholarship I was eligible for in the VSAC booklet, and was very delighted to receive many of them. But the one that made the difference for me was the Curtis Memorial Scholarship. So I'm very motivated to pay it forward and to continue to work in partnership with each of these wonderful partners, and I feel very honored to be here today. Thank you.